Thank you, guys. One thing maybe no one knows, but this conference is organized by designer from designer. So by designer for designer. So we are not using, as you can see, we're not using speaker from TV or something, as we normally do for other events. For this event, we decided to, or the team actually decided to manage the whole thing themselves. And I have to say, this is the second year we're doing this, and I'm very proud to say the result is really great. So thank you very much. It's very authentic, and so big applause to the team. We're gonna do this at the end normally, but yeah. I have the pleasure to start this conference. I did it last year. Last year, I sent a message out. I talked about the importance of design taking leadership. And I don't do the same thing this year. It would be boring. But it's still very important. But this year, I want to talk about something else. And I want to go back to the fact that I started to work in financial services, means designing for financial services, a bit more than 10 years ago. It was 2012. How many of you have been working for a bank or a financial service provider longer than 10 years? Raise your hand. All right. Obviously, we have also an issue here. Many of you probably did not work more than 10 years ago. So who work longer than 10 years? Oh, it's okay. I don't feel so old then. When I started, the number of designers in the group, in the financial group, in Erste group, was not low, was 0. 2012. Now think about your own organization, the one of you who work for incumbent bank and not for a startup. I'm sure startup normally start with design, you need design, but for the incumbent, it's probably going to be the same, right? So when we started, it was 0. We used to use agencies and freelancer, but the things have changed. Yesterday we had the pleasure to kick off a full day of workshop with our own team here in Vienna from the group. Designers were coming from the group. We are talking about 80 people. I mean, this is remarkable, and I think this is making a difference. We are building a sector, like a team in the organization that didn't exist at all 10 years ago. And I think this is really making a difference. But let's go back to 10 years ago. And I want to tell you a little story. When I started working for this industry, the first thing we look, and there are some people here who were with me, the first thing I look and I say, that's the future. It was, you remember there was a small banking app in US which was called Simple. Who remembers Simple? Right. Yeah, Boris do. Mickey, is Mickey here? Mickey is not here, maybe he comes late. Mickey is down there. Mickey managed, he worked with us at that time, managed to get us an account, right? So we were here in Vienna, and he had a friend over there who actually shared completely uncompliant and almost illegal her password, so we could look at her account, see the interface. And what shocked me about Simple was that this app was not built, but it was designed. So until that time, I believe, many apps for app existed, but they were built. And Simple, for me, was the first app that it was designed. Carefully crafted, the language, the typography, the color, the way you open the package when you receive your debit card, the way the message is written there, the design of the card itself. So it was designed in the whole thing. If any one of you knows, unfortunately that app doesn't exist anymore. This is a classical example of a murder done by an incumbent who takes over a startup to make it successful and kill it. This was a very good example. If any one of you knows anyone from that original team. I mean, I know Josh is now in Australia. I'm trying to get him here for next year. If you know anyone from that team, please reach out to me and connect me. I would love to talk to these people and bring them on stage, because to me, to Boris, to Mickey over there, this was one of the biggest inspiration we have got. Seeing someone who managed to design a financial interface rather than building it as it was done until that time. So we were inspired, and immediately we started to copy. I think one of the things designers are doing the best are copying stuff, right? And I'm proud to say, I'm not ashamed saying I'm copying stuff, because I know I'm getting inspired left and right, and when I do it my own way, it looks slightly different then, and it's okay. And so we started to build our own application with our own ambition. And then I remember there was a point where we say, now we can do interfaces. At the beginning, the focus of those interfaces to provide financial access. Very simple, try to provide our customer the opportunity to see their banking product, to see their balance. And then we started to build and design functionality. And I'm sure today, guys, you're going to spend time and you're going to see lots of presentations. And I hope I'm going to be inspired by the lots of design feature and functionality and interfaces, and that's fantastic. And I think that's what the industry has done pretty well. The challenger in the room and the startup in the room has done this before anyone else, and it helped us from the incumbent side to show our organization, look, something different is possible. And by the way, customer likes it too. Why don't we do it the same? So I think the role of startup and the role of challenger bank here has been extremely important, even for the whole industry and even for incumbents. But now, what's the next step? And that would be my call for today. My call for today is, the next step is not to design apps. We know how to do this. The next step is not to design functionalities and features. We know how to do this. We have processes in place. I'm sure today someone will talk about, or at least mention, design system, molecular design, bringing customer experience, journey, digital journey, and so on. Great, but we know how to do this. All of you know how to, that there are people who do it better. Some are doing it faster, some are doing it slower, but it's pretty good. The maturity on this level is good, but what's next? To me, next is to design relationship. This is going to be the next phase of financial service provider challenge. Designing relationship, because banking is mainly a relationship. And when I mean designing relationship, I don't mean eliminating the people from the equation. I don't think this will happen. I don't think it will happen anytime soon, that you're going to build a relationship only with the software. There is always something, right? There is always some situation where you need to talk to someone. However, I think designing relationship is going to be the challenge for all of us in the next 10 years. And it's even more important today because we have learned that actually artificial intelligence, which by the way was not invented last November, as many people think, existed since ever. What happened last November is that someone, probably bypassing legal and compliance, I'm talking about the OpenAI guy, managed to put an interface on the internet where everyone could use, and everyone realized, including myself, that actually AI could be human or could feel human. This is the main difference. The fact that they managed to make that little experience, that little conversation, human. And humanity and empathy, it's an important part of relationship. So these two things together are exactly and the way we're going to craft this technology-wise and ambition-wise, how we're going to craft this together is going to define, in my view, financial service in the next decades. And with that, I hope that all of you are also sharing my view in this direction. I hope I hear and see some ideas how to go in this direction tomorrow. This is not going to be something we're going to solve it in 2 minutes. I think it will take time. We are ready. I'm sure all of you in the crowd are ready, but many of our customers out there are not ready for that. It takes time to get ready. But when we get there, we could really get to a point that really we can move to the next level. Not only for the interest of our organization, but also for the interest of our customers. So with that, I would like to wish you a fantastic day for today. I would love to, I hope that you're gonna get inspired, and I hope I will get inspired myself. And I make sure that we're gonna continue this tradition of having this gathering together. Last year, Steffi helped me out. How many we have been last year? I think 1,000 around this year, we're going to get closer to 2,000, maybe not right, but almost close. I mean, next target is to get even bigger next year. So looking forward. I wish you a great day, and see you later. Thank you very much.